Hi, it's Claire and welcome to Needle Say More. Today I'm going to show you how to do a mock flat felled seam, which is like this. So from the right side it looks like a flat felled seam, but if we turn it over you can see that it's a plain seam with an overlocked edge that has just been top stitched. This would be used on cheaper denim items, kind of fast fashion. You can see again on the denim, so twin line of stitching on the right side, on the back, overlock stitching that's been top stitched in place. Let's get started. You want to put your fabrics right sides together, and then you're going to line them up with your 1.5 centimetre line on the throat plate of your machine. You're going to back stitch at the start and the finish, and then come all the way down to the edge of the fabric. So that is our plain seam. So we've back stitched at either end, and then we've sewn all the way along with a 1.5 centimetre seam allowance. So then to stop the raw edge from fraying, you can either zigzag it or overlock it. So I've just gone ahead and overlocked our plain seam. So this will stop the edges from fraying. You can see 1.5 centimetres overlocked. And this will be a really strong, really simple seam. We're going to take our plain seam, and to make it into a flat felled seam, we're going to press the seam allowance over to one side. Just like that. To complete our mock flat felled seam, we've pressed the seam allowance over to one side, and the side where the seam allowance is, we're going to do 2 lines of top stitching to make it look like a flat felled seam, but we know it won't be because the raw edges aren't encased, so it'll be a mock flat felled seam. So find a point on your seam to line up to a little notch on your press foot to give you a really even straight stitching. So I'm going to match up the fold of the seam with the notch in the middle of my presser foot, and then I'm just going to move my needle over. And then we want to back stitch at the start and end. So that's my first line of top stitching, and that is about 2 millimeters away from the seam line. And then I'm going to do another line of top stitching here a little bit further out. So I'm going to line up the edge of my presser foot with the line of top stitching I did before. Move my needle over slightly, that's perfect. So there we have it, our mock flat felled seam. So from the top, the right side, it looks like a flat felled seam, but then when we turn it over, you can see it's an overlocked plain seam that has been top stitched. But this would be used on denim, on jeans from kind of cheaper manufacturers that aren't going to put the time in to do a flat felled seam to save money on production costs, which does kind of benefit the consumer because it will give a cheaper product, but it won't be as durable and it won't be as long lasting. Take our mock flat felled seam, you want to put your fabric right side spacing. You can see this one has got an obvious right and wrong side. So we're going to put it right side spacing, and we're going to sew a 1.5 centimetre seam, back stitching at either end. So here's my plain seam. So I've reversed at either end, and then to stop the edges fraying, you can either zigzag it or overlock it. I'm going to go ahead and overlock mine. And there we go. To make our flat felled seam on the denim, we're going to take our seam allowance and just press it over to one side. To complete the flat felled seam, I'm going to do 2 lines of twin stitching to secure this overlocked edge. And I'm going to back stitch at either end. So just give the threads a quick snip. There we go. So I've done my twin lines of stitching at the top, one near to the seam line and one to secure the overlocked edge down. So from the front, it looks like a flat felled seam, but from the back, we know it's a mock flat felled because it's a plain seam with an overlocked edge that we've just top stitched.